101 is regulation has been and will continue to be a driver of requirements within the data and analytics community.
Hello and welcome to At the Forefront Fintech Conversations. I'm Sam Belden, VP and Head of Content at Forefront, and today I am joined by Shelley Magee. Shelley is the CEO of ActiveViam, a provider of advanced analytics and data solutions for the financial services community. Shelley, welcome to At the Forefront.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So first of all, congratulations on the new role at ActiveViam. On today's episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about the new role that Shelley is taking on, as well as her vision for the future and how she believes that ActiveViam is making a difference for financial institutions when it comes to making better data-driven decisions. So we'll get to all that, but first off, Shelley, tell me about the new role, about ActiveViam, and why you were excited to get started.
Thanks very much for having me. It's really great to be here today. And so, as you said, ActiveViam is a provider of advanced data and analytics for the financial services industry. We have a proprietary technology called Atoti, which is an OLAP data cube. What does that mean? It basically means that we can provide advanced analytics across super large data sets, and we can provide deep drill downs into that data, and we can run real-time aggregation, real-time analytics, and allow financial services firms to really interrogate their data in a super performant manner and make decisions off of that data. Atoti and ActiveViam has been around for about 20 years, really at the forefront of the financial services industry. We have been driving change across all of that time. We count, so globally, we count 40% of the tier one banks amongst our customer base, and that goes up to 70% within Europe. Our users, so we offer solutions into the technology department, so our IT users, so we can provide the kit and then they can use the kit to basically code on top of that for whichever specific use case it is that they want. We also then provide out-of-the-box business solutions for the front office, for the chief risk officer, for the finance department. So it's really superb because it allows you, depending on your particular use case, it either allows you to have something that you can really plug and play, or you can actually buy the platform and code upon it and actually enhance your usage and extend your usage over time. So yeah, very excited to come on board. I've been, I think, on day 20 now.
Wow.
So really excited to finally get on board.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for that overview. Appreciate you making the time for us early on in your tenure with all these other priorities happening. So thank you for that. Now, you talked through your business model high level and gave us an overview of your client base. Obviously, some impressive firms encompassed within that group. When you think about analytics and decision-making solutions for that community, what comes to mind? What are the challenges that they're facing, and how does ActiveViam sort of come into the equation?
Yeah, really good question. So look, it's a boring reality of life, but probably 101 is regulation. Yeah. If you look, and that can be, obviously formal regulation, but it can also be the requirements just within the wider environment. So if you look at liquidity, for example, so that's not, there aren't particularly new regulations coming out for that, but the requirements within that world are becoming ever more complex. So FRTB continues to be an area of focus globally. So, 101 is regulation, has been and will continue to be a driver of requirements within the data and analytics community. And the second point that we really see impacting our client base is the need to be efficient, actually, with their spend on technology. So what you'll see within these large tier one banks and large buy sides is there really will be, they have complex infrastructures. They might have asset class specific risk systems or pricing systems, and really they're looking at the technology stack overall to make sure that they're being as efficient as they can be with the capital that they're allocating to those. So, we see that across all of our customers. They want to make sure that they're extracting maximum value for the input that they're providing into the solutions. 3 is really data proliferation. So again, it's not uncommon for people to be using several pricing systems, several risk systems. There is just so much data now at the most granular level, and this means that the technology being used to use that data and to extract meaningful insights from that data, it needs to be able to, to manage en masse across this level of aggregate data, and then to be able to drill down and actually perform the analysis that needs to happen. So, the data proliferation, and then last but not least is obviously AI.
Yes.
Our customers are continually asking they're continually asking themselves how they can use AI in order to make sure that they're extracting the maximum value from the data, and they're asking us in terms of what the solution is going to provide. So if I then flip to the other part of your question, what are we doing? What's Atoti and ActiveViam doing? So our entire premise is effectively building upon, our value is the ability to act upon large complex data sets where you have multiple input sources, where you need to be able to aggregate all of that data real time in a very performant manner and perform complex calculations on that. So the entire setup of our kit is effectively, then throw a little bit of a liquidity crisis in,
Sure.
or a little bit of a market shock. This is where we really come to the fore.
Fantastic. Thank you for that overview. I know that those are definitely working with a lot of our different clients, some of the most pressing challenges that sort of keep coming up, data proliferation and how we're going to prepare for most effective use of AI in the future. So it sounds like you guys are well positioned to help solve some of those challenges. And I know that you bring some sort of uniquely relevant experience to this role as well. I know you worked on tier 1 banks, on technology strategy. I know that you were COO of Regnology, which works heavily in the data space, hypergranular data for both regulators and the regulated. Tell me a little bit more about your past experiences and how they've sort of prepared you for today.
Yeah, cool. So look, I always say to design good product, and ultimately ActiveViam and Atoti is a product-led company. Yeah. To define and design good product, you need to have actually used it, and you need to have sat in the seat and really felt it from the other side. So I spent 20 years running product management across various different tier 1 banks in the front office space. So looking at order management systems, execution management systems, risk technology. And that really gave me an appreciation for the problems and the kind of, the required solutions that you need to have when you're selling into those firms. The ability to, one of the things that Atoti does incredibly well is we allow you to we abstract you from the complexity behind the scenes. So, and having worked in-house, trying to draw an architecture of a large tier 1 front office, if you can get it on one sheet of A4, you're doing really well. And you put Atoti in there, and what it does incredibly well is it can sit on top of all of these risk systems and these pricing systems, etc., and eventually allows you to simplify behind the scenes whilst protecting the users from the impact of that simplification. So working in-house really gave me a kind of appreciation for that. I joke, but when we started looking at the Atoti system, I actually called up a guy who I used to work with in-house and showed him it, and we were both like, why didn't we have this 10 years ago? This would have saved us many a late night, because we were literally trying to build this technology in-house. And the sheer matter of the fact is that what ActiveViam has managed to do is they've really created a firm where they have the market leading experts. This kit is incredible. It is the solution that they've come up with in the product offering is unmatched across the industry. And really the reality is that, as soon as people see it, they're like, wow, this is incredible. Please, how have we never known about this? Right, we needed to do this, and we needed to do this. So So yeah, we were like, why didn't we know about this 10 years ago? And then, yeah, so I was previously COO at Regnology, and where part of my role was really changing the strategy to be very data driven. So actually the first kind of year to 18 months of my tenure there was really looking across the entire firm and pulling all of our data sources, of which there were over 20, into a centralized data lake, and then creating reports and actually effectively changing the entire way the firm operated into becoming data driven. And data driven is one of those things that people kind of throw around, and we're a data driven firm. I mean, we totally changed the decision making. That if you wanted to run a sales campaign, you needed to be able to prove where that was coming from the bottom up. If you wanted to ask for additional resources, you needed to be able to show what the growth within the firm or within that team had been and how that was adding efficiency. Those are minor examples, but we literally changed the entire workings of the firm such that we really democratized it. And again, that's something that's kind of thrown around, but literally we exposed this data to the entire firm. Mm-hmm. And we said, this is it's not like senior management are making decisions based on something that you're not seeing. The reality is we're all seeing the data now. So do you think we're doing the right thing? Are we hitting our sales targets? Do we need to pivot? Everyone had all of the data. And it was really exciting and actually incredibly rewarding and fascinating to watch the change in how people started to really kind of take more ownership of the overall. They really saw everything was it created a culture of really everyone owning the success of the firm. So yeah, and that gave me a first-hand appreciation for simplification of data, and how you deliver good tools internally to be able to act upon that data in an efficient manner, and how to interrogate it, and the what if scenarios and all of the stuff that Atoti does. I really felt it kind of in house and was really driving that across Regnology. So yeah, I feel like I then looking at the Atoti product was like I've used this in house. I've
Awesome.
Really felt this, so it's cool.
Yeah, I like that connection between, using some of those efficiencies to define what your internal business strategy is, and now you're in your new seat working towards delivering some of those efficiencies to your clients at ActiveViam.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
great to hear. So you've been in the seat for, I think you said 20 days now. How's it been so far? What have you learned? Have you had any takeaways or highlights, or what can you tell us about the tenure thus far?
Yeah, it's been great. So I spent probably 99% of my time meeting either the team internally or clients, which has been incredible. So look, 101, I knew a lot about the product mm-hmm. before I joined. I'd had some demos, not all of them. The first and foremost thing is the product. Honestly, every demo I've seen has made me more excited about what this product can do. And speaking to the customers, I can see how what's been fascinating is we've grown with our customer base. So, and this is part of what's amazing. So, and I've really seen that speaking to the customers, is that they buy us for one use case, and then they realize actually this kit is super flexible, and we can also, we can expand into this different use case. So that's been really cool to actually see the level of flexibility that comes with the tool, and really experience firsthand getting the feedback back from the customers. So I think the product is number one. Number two is the team. I've met probably 60-70% of people now globally, and it's no exaggeration to say, from a kind of expertise perspective, it's unmatched. These are people who are the creme de la creme in their particular industries, and super dedicated, super excited about what we can do. There's a real energy in terms of, we're partnering with some fantastic customers right now, and the team are just super enthusiastic actually, and really really driving things forward, driving the conversations, leading the customers as well. So it's been very cool to see globally how we're really kind of going on this journey with customers. From a client perspective, last but not least, I've met quite a few customers already. What's really coming across is they love the versatility of the tool. The reality is, in the data-driven environment in which we currently work, they need the ability to apply the same level of analytics and logic and drill downs across so many different use cases, and they're really engaged in working with us as partners. People don't churn from the Atoti platform. That's it's incredible. Like, we have engaged customers who are really, once we start working with them, we establish long-running trusted relationships, and we really become core parts of their technology. So it's been really cool to spend some time with the clients as well, and understand also other areas in which they think we could help them. So having that level of open dialogue has been really interesting. So yeah, it's been really informative, busy, and great to kind of start to meet everyone and really get under the skin of everything.
Awesome. No, that's great to hear. And I can definitely get a sense of your excitement for the road ahead when you talk about your clients and the product and sort of the way that you guys are growing and innovating together. So with that, tell me a little bit about what's next for ActiveViam and what we can keep an eye on in the future.
Bigger and better.
Yeah.
It's all exciting.
Good.
So yeah, look, we've got lots of exciting things on the roadmap actually. We're continually, as I said, assessing where we can go from a solution perspective within the tool. The incredible thing about this technology is, in the world that we live in, you can apply it to lots of different use cases. So there's exciting opportunities for us within the front office. It's kind of the area that I grew up in as well. So if you look at what makes the Atoti platform great, it couldn't be more perfect for the front office. It needs to be real time. It needs to be flexible. It needs to be able to integrate with all of the the various different risk and P&L systems that are sitting there. So front office is an area where we're investigating. There's also quite a lot of interesting things going on within the FP&A world, which is a new use case for us, but one which we see real potential and has some exciting opportunities. So we'll be looking at those from a solution perspective. And then just as a firm, we're continually investing in our R&D departments, so both in our solutions and our core R&D team. And we're looking for, obviously we have an AI strategy. We're continually looking at ways that we can work with our customers to make sure that they are configuring. A lot of our customers configure Atoti themselves. So some of our AI strategy initially will be providing them feedback in terms of making sure that the way they've configured is performant and they're getting the best out of the tool, and working with the customers to make sure that we're further refining that. So yeah, we're looking at solutions, and then obviously trying to expand our global footprint, and take the Atoti and ActiveViam name properly worldwide. So yeah, it's exciting.
Fantastic. Well, I'll certainly be keeping an eye on that, seeing how it all goes. Best of luck to you as you continue to get settled in the role and look to pursue all these areas of innovation. It sounds like an exciting time for ActiveViam and your team. So we'll all be observing and watching on.
Great.
Awesome. Well,
thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining today. If you would like to learn more about Shelley's company, her team, and how ActiveViam is solving some of the key challenges in the data and analytics space for the financial services industry, you can check out their website. We will add a link in the description for this episode. And if you'd like to learn more about what we do at Forefront and check out more episodes of At the Forefront like this one, head over to forefrontcomms.com and head over to the news and insights section for more episodes. So until next time, this has been At the Forefront. Shelley, thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.